What Jonas Tyroller's games reveal about the Steam algorithm. So he made a comment how to market a game. He said, just make great games. We watched that video a long time ago. And then we had a discussion about making YouTube devlogs about your game. Advertising your game essentially through YouTube or other social media to get attention of your game and gain a lot of wish lists that way. And the argument is that while yes, you get a lot of wish lists and traction, the player count might be different, or the actual people that are willing to buy the game when it comes out might actually be much, much lower. So you can think about it like if each wish list had a weight and you did a devlog on YouTube that went really well, then the weight of that wish list is very low compared to a weight of a wish list of someone stumbling upon your game through natural traction on Steam. You could think of it that way. So you could say that one wish list like that from actual natural traction from Steam is worth 10 times the wish list of the power of a wish list from YouTube. And this was the discussion about that we had. And I still think it's good to advertise your game on YouTube and these platforms. But people told him that no, it's not only about making great games and then they will be good. It's more about marketing as well. And so then that's why we talked about these different strategies. If you what you could do, you put out your game on itch, it's free, you get traction to your page, you spend time on your page, you make it look really good, you write news posts, update posts, they keep promoting your game, you keep getting new downloads, you ask them to help you write reviews, give you feedback, then they give you feedback, and with that feedback you make a better game, you upload it to Steam, you get here, you get to a product that is somewhat reasonably finished. And then you start putting out an early access or maybe even a demo version first. You use that demo version to get even more feedback and maybe traction because it notifies all of your wishlisters. When you put out a demo, you get all of your wishlisters will get an email that there is a demo available for your game. So don't waste that opportunity. I did waste that opportunity because I didn't know. But that's okay. That's fine. We made that mistake. Now that you have a demo version out, you're getting close to early access or releasing your game. And if this journey sounds familiar, I think it's a good strategy. Now, not everyone can do this, but this is what Vampire Survivors did. This is exactly what Vampire Survivors' development cycle looked like. He started on itch. That's his game on itch, playable today. He spent a lot of time making the game better. The first upload to the page was 2021. No, sorry, yeah, release date 2021, March 31st. And he kept making the game better and people really liked it. So they wrote comments and gave him feedback. And you can play the game today. And then at some point he went over to Steam. Made a Steam page and then put the game out. I don't think there ever was a demo version from Vampire Survivors. If I'm wrong on this, correct me, that's fine, but I don't think he ever put a demo version out. So he skipped the demo version step and he went straight into releasing his game. And when he first did that, he actually didn't experience that much traction to his game. He had a couple of players. Most other games have more players than he did in the first couple of weeks of his release. And then of course at some point it blew into like oblivion. But yeah. So that's a valid strategy. Put it on itch and then put it up on Steam if it's gaining traction on itch. And then don't waste the opportunity for a demo version on Steam. Doesn't matter if you get fake wishlists. The Steam algorithm can't tell the difference, so you still get more real wishlists from being promoted here. From being promoted, okay. Tyroller posted a video where he corrects himself on earlier takes from him about Gamedev. Yes, I know that video. We will watch it, but not today. So I know about the video I was wrong. So he posted this video and he also posted I was wrong. So we'll watch that as well. But let's see what we're talking about here. What Jonas Tyroller's games reveal about the Steam algorithm. Which matters more, the game or the marketing? I think it's obvious to anyone. The game matters more than the marketing, in my opinion, and I think in almost everyone's opinion too. Marketing is important, but I think that's the first step, the game. Popular Gamedev YouTube personality Jonas Tyroller recently released a video where he argued that the most important factor in your game's success is whether the game is good, and that marketing is not as important. His argument is that if you have a good game, the Steam algorithm will biggest source of traffic. Or will be the biggest source of traffic. Okay, so that's not a reading L, that's a writing L that causes a reading L. So I'm still having a reading W here because I'm doing a good job. I gotta say, I'm not natively English speaker. Yeah.
100 bits. Cheer 100 have to leave. Good to see you back on track. Don't let us degen FS get to you too much, smile.
My man, Phoenix DP, I appreciate the support. Thanks for 100 bits. Yeah, you have a good day, bro. Although marketing is still important to kickstart the process, it is becoming less of a factor if your success overall. Yeah, so that's what Jonas Tyroller said. Here's the most important quote from the video. See, guys, that's what you should do. He doesn't watch an entire 20-minute video. He just says the essence of the video. Marketing is used very convenient. Wait, marketing is used very convenient excuse. Bro, this is not like I can't read like this. Is this gonna continue, man? It's not a reading L, it's a writing L, okay? Marketing is used as a very convenient excuse for why your game underperformed by indie developers, but no. Very likely it is not why your game failed. Algorithms are the new marketing. Yes, I don't think he said it like that. I gotta be honest. Writers make mistakes sometimes. 2 times? In 2 paragraphs, bro? He still writes wrong about promotion emo. It's survivorship bias and also has not factored in. He's got a huge YouTube channel promoting his games. Yeah, you need to factor that in too, I know. That is a factor. I have a worse game and had a higher player count than Bean Beasts. And my game is worse, for sure. So that is a huge factor. Traction matters a lot. Okay, let's see here. Jonas got some flack for the statement. He asked if I wanted to weigh in. I wanted to weigh in, but first I looked at the data for his 3 Steam games and tried to give him a firm answer. I don't just trust my gut. That's good stuff, yeah. Trust the data. TLDR, he's right. It's over, boys. Let's leave. So we don't need to read the rest of the article because he's right. See, I told you. Never mind. Okay, let's see. The type of game and its quality is the most important factor, and most of the traffic that converts to sales will come from the Steam store algorithms. Let me spend a couple of thousand words explaining how. Oh wow, a couple of thousand words. That's crazy. Okay. The 3 games of his career. Jonas built an enviable game dev career. Yeah, he did. He's selling a lot of stuff. Yeah, he's a millionaire. Yeah, true. He is constantly building, constantly releasing. He documented a challenge where he made 50 games in a day. Damn, that's crazy. This guy ships. Yeah, he does. But he doesn't just release Game Jam quality quick hit games. Since 2019, he and collaborators have released... Wow, in 6 games, they released 3 games in 6 years. That's crazy. Unity, guys. So you want to get to that level? That's Unity. That bad Unity that you shouldn't use. But you should also use, maybe, because then you can release games and stuff. Just saying, you know. Sounds like fake. Can you fact check that? That 50 games in a day? It's probably your YouTube video. Yep, he did. Unity. So, it's a Unity video, bro. What you talking about? Like, it does work. Here.
looking, but also pretty basic line runner game. A split screen game where you control 2 balls at once. That was a bit confusing, so I made another version where both balls are moving in the same.
Okay, bro. Okay. Let's see here. Where were we? Have followers made more money? Oh yeah, let's see. They have released 3 full-sized games on Steam, and all of them have been a success, and that they have made more money than they cost, and they allowed him to continue to make games full time. I'm pretty sure they have made way more money than they cost. Yeah, the 3 games vary in scope, genre, and cost, and in team size. However, Jonas has been a creative force between all 3 and done fairly similar marketing approaches. He can compare their relative performance. I don't think you can, because you grow as a YouTuber, so the more known you are as a YouTuber, it is very likely that your later games will be more successful if you keep up with the quality of games. Like, if the quality of your games gets a bit better, but you get more popular, then you could assume that more people play your later games. Because not only do they have a reference of a good game already, but you also have a bigger following. So you attract more people, and more traction is good on Steam. Anyways, let's just move on here. And some insights. Jonas has about as close as a control and an experiment as you can get in this creative, chaotic industry. Maybe. But he did get more views, man. So you need to factor this in. Social Blade. That changed a lot, man. Jonas? How do you even Tyroller? Oh, cool. Found him. Nice. Oh, wow, that changed a lot. That's crazy. How can we see that? Like, weekly gained total... Yeah, I mean, if he started... No, that's not the entire... Not monthly. How do we even read this? How can you even... Like, how do we... Like, this page is so big now. 130%? Similar channels, live subscriber count. How do we... Like... Bruh. Give me a second, okay? I'll need to figure this out. No, like, I want the subscribers over time. Platinum subscription is required? What? What are you talking about? I don't need money here. Stop it. We get another one. Come on, you find this guy. There we go, thank you. There's another one. We'll figure this out, okay? Without paying money. Subs. Can we, like, set this... Dismiss. Max. There we go. There we go. Subscribers. So, here we go. Wait. Oh, they started collecting data at 2022. Nah. That sucks. It's flattening out the curve too, so... Anyways, guys, we can't really look this up. Unless someone of you knows, but yeah. The graph looks sucks. All-time revenue? No, that's 300,000, I think. But it could also be wrong. No, actually 300 to 1.2k. I don't know. This website is a bit shaky still. It's new. I mean, we could do, let's see, 28 days. He gets... Oh, he didn't post in a while, I guess, huh? Well, anyways, I guess maybe you can. Maybe the views have been stable over time. I can't really tell. So let's assume, since... Do it like this. I think we can assume from this graph, this is the subscriber graph. It is a linear graph. So his growth as a YouTuber is linear. Anyways, my point being is... Jonas Tyroller might have a constant flood of views every month, and therefore we can actually compare the games. So that's a good thing then. Alright, so we have Islanders, Will You Snail, and Thronefall, these 3 games. Now, because of his various partnerships and the fact that he sold the IP of Islanders... Oh, he did? Okay. That means Islanders is now someone else? No way. Still very positive, though. Oh, that's good. Usually when you sell your IP, it goes downhill because they see the money. Anyways, we can share all the numbers, but we can't share all the numbers, I see. But Jonas provided a high-level summation of how they performed in the form of this table. Jonas also created subjective success score that sums up how the game performed based on all of the metrics, roughly reflecting the financial success of each game. Oh, so we can see... I can already see the 20k wishlist down there, and I don't even have 1k, man. I spent 3 years on that game, man. Come on. I don't even have a K. Come on. It's not 6 years, you're wrong. 3 years. Okay, fine. Let's see. Islanders. 20k wishlist at launch. Traditional full release. Smart. Will You Snail? 60k wishlists. What's going on here? And then Thronefall had 200,000 wishlists. What did they do, man? Holy. And they released it 1 year after Will You Snail. Never give up. No, I won't give up, but it's still crazy, man. Okay, so Islanders had 1,500 concurrent users. That's crazy. And then only 700 concurrent users for Will You Snail. Now, I would attribute that low player count to it being a 2D side-scroller game. Now, that's just me. But there's so many other games that I can play. Why would I play a 2D side-scroller? While on the other hand, Islanders, for those of you... This is a building game. Relaxing building game. Looks cute, has really nice colors, works very well. So I would attribute that to those 2 factors. But again, could be something else. And then, oh my god, Thronefall is amazing. Yeah, it's a really cool idea. 7,000 concurrent users on launch with a great tail so far. Probably due to the regular updates, yeah. During early access. Okay, so they went into early access here, and these are 2 traditional releases. $5. Oh, I see. Low price point too. $12. Ooh, that's a lot. And then $12 here is fine, by the way. Was cheaper at early access, yeah. Fairly large player base, but not a super passionate one, and not one that stuck around for very long.
Lucius 6% just subscribed.
Yo, my man. Whoa, what? For 6 months at tier 3? Put some W's in the chat for Lucius, my man. Holy. I appreciate the support, bro. Holy moly, that's crazy, man. Bruh. L? Not W's, guys. Come on, W's. Okay, yeah, he's right. I saw like 40 players right now, but still crazy. I mean, 40 players, you know what you're talking about. It's better than nothing. But, okay, a much smaller community for the Will You Snail game, but surprisingly passionate one. Okay, let's take a look here.
No. Did Yardlive just subscribed?
Yo! W, thank you, D-God. I appreciate the support, you. Oh, man. 7 months, bro. Let's see. What are you talking about? It's 8 players online. How is that a passionate community? A passionate community? Like, what are these guys talking about? Maybe back then? Wait, I need to see that. Maybe I'm just talking gibberish right now. Max. Nothing stuck around. It's like release and then boom. That's more steep than the depths of hell. Holy, what? You don't want to see that? No. Much smaller community. Okay. Not for everyone, but those who like it really do. See, I don't agree, but maybe I'm wrong. Look, why do I not agree? Look at this. You want to know a passionate community? Watch this. This is passion in and of itself. This game came out 2005. 20 years ago. Look at this. That's passion. Oh yeah. The reason why I'm making games today. This game. Oh yeah. Gothic is amazing. It's a really good game. Anyways, okay, for the first time tapping Thronefall, then for the first time tapping into that sweet spot of both having lots of players, but also many who are quite passionate about the game, not as crazy as Will You Snail. I don't agree, but maybe there's some... I don't know why they say that. Noticeably more so than Islanders. Content creator coverage on YouTube and Twitch was good, but very short-lived. I just don't agree. Like, it looks so different to me. Wait, let me close this. Thronefall. And then this is the first one. That's 44 players, man. And then we have the entire... Like, I don't think that looks... Look at this. Release here. Didn't go down at all. I don't know what they're talking about. They need to reverse. I feel like the columns are mixed up. Will You Snail needs to be here. And Islanders needs to be in the middle. Am I stupid? Huh? Maybe they regularly paid streamers for ads. Can you play Gothic on stream once? I want to see what it looks like. Cakes? Yeah, I will. Anyway, so I think it's a bit... this seems a bit wrong. Content creator on YouTube and Twitch was rather sparse. Okay, content creator coverage. Yeah, again, it's a 2D side-scroller. It might have great mechanics, but we've seen so many of these. And then for Thronefall, the content creator coverage on YouTube was great. Oh yeah, I can see that. Even I knew about the game. And I don't pay attention to this at all. More than paid for itself. Oh yes. Subjective successful, okay. I'd say it roughly paid for itself and then some, including a decent salary. Oh, I mean, that's good. I mean... 15? Okay. More than paid for itself? And listen, guys. Thronefall, you know, sitting at 19,000 reviews. These guys are all millionaires minimum. Multiple. Right? That's crazy. A great game. It's a cool idea as well. Similar numbers to Islanders, but in a shorter time with a much higher price point. Is it though? I don't think this is similar, but 10x that, to be honest. Minimum. Look at the numbers. The highest point of Islanders was like 1 point something K. Yeah. I feel like it's like 10x. Maybe a bit less, but close. Okay, anyways. The general rule of thumb is sales is the reviews times 50. I think that works, yes. Also works decently well for estimating rough ballpark numbers for the number of units that were sold. Okay, Chris analysis. I've been following Jonas' career since the amazing launch of Islanders, and I thought Islanders was the perfect type of game indie developers should make. Aha! Building. Your primary verb is placing buildings. It takes a complex genre city builder and simplifies it to its essence so that it appeals to the fans, but keeps the development times low. 6-month development time. That's nothing. However, you guys have to realize they spend a lot of time before this designing games and failing. So you need to add that too. Okay, 6 months. 6 months is after they have invested and learned in Unity before. Okay, so there's more time that came before this experience, yeah. You cannot take an RPG game and say that you start at level 0 and then 6 months later you have a game. That's not how it works. These guys started at level 20, maybe lighter. It depends how much, you know, they spend time farming. And so this is always what is called imposter syndrome for people, where they get so caught up on this number and then forget about what came before. It's really important. Don't get discouraged by this. Everyone has their own journey. But that being said, that's still a very low time for such a great and amazing game. The game design is endlessly replayable. There is no narrative or puzzles or levels, so fans can play it forever. Why? I don't know why. He should give like an example, to be honest, but okay. His second game was a platformer. Yeah, I can already see the ellipses here, guys. That's what I would do too. Yeah, I've been following my writing talks, and once you will know that I strongly recommend developers to avoid the platformer genre for many reasons. But William Snail still did great, yeah. Over 2,500 reviews. And some platformers do well, that guy on Reddit, yeah. Yes, William Snail did great. It did better than I thought it would, but even a top-performing platformer... Yeah, you can see the difference, man. There's just too much competition. Celeste is just so huge and much better. I would play Celeste over this. And even then, it's only 2,000 players. That's crazy. And only 7,000. Look at this. Celeste is massively successful. 100,000 reviews and only 7,000? I didn't know that. This one is so close to Celeste. That's insane. Wow. Damn. It's been going up though. That's good. Wow, that's good. Look at this, guys. That's modding community, by the way. You can mod in Celeste. That's probably one of the big reasons. Top performing, but even a top performing platformer will still underperform compared to Jonas's other games in the genres that Steam players prefer. Crafty, buildy, strategy, simulation. Told you guys. Crafting survival games or something like this. Jonas is a very experienced game designer. Huh? I told you. With 2,000 plus YouTube subscribers. And even with all of that, he found it a challenge to get a platformer to succeed. Oh, wow. Okay, that's crazy. William Snail probably got a bigger hockey stick than it deserved to at the beginning of its life cycle due to my YouTube channel and pretty decent wishlist counts. Yeah, I mean 60,000 wishlists, man. Holy. He did a lot of videos on them too, though. Yep. Oof, concurrent players. William Snail. Yeah, so how can they put William Snail in the middle and say passionate community when there's like no community? There's not even bumps here. You see that? I don't know. I just don't agree. But okay. Concurrent players. Graph the peak concurrent players. Yeah, so like Thronefall is 10x the blue line, and then the red line is just at the very bottom. They meant a steady community? I mean, you mean a steady community of 6 players? Something? 10 players? That's still steady? But then, hey man, what is this community, bro? That's also a steady community of 100 players. I would call that steady too, by that definition. And that's been out for longer. 6 years out. And this one's only 3 years out. Same with my game. I have a steady community of 0. Yeah, me too, man. No, actually, I have a steady community of 1 now. True. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Let's move on here. We're spending too much time on the article. We have the 1,000 words to read, okay? Thronefall's traffic dwarfs these 2 other games, but if you look closely at the William Snail line, you will notice that the traffic falls off quickly. Yeah, there is no post-launch spikes. Notice how both Islanders and Thronefall are enjoying big spikes many weeks after the launch. I think the truth is, Will You Snail is not as good as the other 2 releases of mine, especially when it comes to appeal. The September 23rd Spike, barely visible on this line. Yeah, here. Yeah. Came from the level editor update. I was hoping this would infuse some new life into the game. I guess it didn't. So he has modding in the game. Still isn't good enough. And give it a much better tail. But as you can see, it absolutely did not achieve that at all. Yeah, the part of the community was still happy about it. Yeah, the active part. For Islanders, the spikes can only come from sales because we never updated the game. How's that possible, man? I spent so much time trying to make my game so good, and I get no spikes. Nothing. And then I do updates and updates and updates, and nothing happens, man. I'm not gonna give up. No. Never update GigaChat, yeah. It's like this other game, what was it? All they did, I don't know which game it was. They put out a game, wait, wasn't it Slay the Spire? No, it was some other indie game. All they did literally was they released the game and then they put it into bundles. Into humble bundles. And the player count over time just it just went up. And all they did was put it into humble bundles. Fail, and then release a really good game with your XP. Yeah, we're farming XP, guys. It's fine. For Islanders, the spikes only came from the... because we never updated the game, yeah. With any significant amount of content besides the creative mode and an undo button. Okay. I can program an undo button, but that was relatively shortly after the launch. I think low-priced games at $5 and below, I think with low-priced games like that, the sales really help with impulse purchases. Aha. Because the games are really very cheap at that point. Are just very cheap. Yeah. I mean, that's what also helped out Vampire Survivors. And that's why it blew up so much as well. Because it was so cheap. I bought Vampire Survivors when it was $2. I was like, hey, $2 for the game? Everyone talks about it? Why not? Yeah, it works. Also regarding YouTube and Twitch streamers playing Will You Snail, Jonas said content creator coverage on YouTube and Twitch was rather sparse. I don't think it would have been much better anyways, even with the coverage. Because if a game is supposed to be good, then this coverage will happen naturally anyways. If it's not that good, then the coverage will also be sparse. And if you have a really high marketing budget and you spend all of it on you know, paying content creators for this, you could end up like Immortals of Avernum with 200,000 Twitch viewers but only 700 players. So if you're making a platformer and even if you do everything right and gather a pile of wish lists and convert them, they often fade quickly. So guys, those of you who are making a platformer, you're sweating yet? Is anyone in chat making a platformer right now? Are you sweating already? Do you need to maybe change clothes right now? I can wait. Bruh. My life's a platformer? Goodness. Yikes. Streamers don't like to play platformers as much as other genres, and content updates and sales just don't move the needle as much. Yeah, unfortunately they don't. Solo development versus team development. Okay. Jonas ranked his game based on a success score that lets us compare the rough financial success of the games without having to know the exact numbers. I would love the exact numbers though. Here are the numbers again. 50, 15, and 100. I wondered, Will You Snail was a solo game, whereas Islanders and Thronefall were team efforts where profits would have been distributed with other people. Also, Will You Snail had a higher price than Islanders. So which one was the most profitable for him individually? Okay, let's see. Islanders was a 3-man team. I hate that. Man years of work. How much though? What's the salary? 6 months of development equal to roughly 1.5. No, I just don't understand this. So wait, explain this to me, please. We have a game on Steam. I'm gonna give you an example. I need to understand this. Been there, won that. SteamDB. This is a game that we looked at a couple of weeks ago. It's called Been There, Won That. Had a player count of, I don't know, between 5 to 10 players every day. Before it popped off in Russia, I think it was. And now it has a much higher player count every day. Because it got popular in a different region. But before this, the game sold about 10 units a day. So how can Islanders be only, so to say, after 6 years, now obviously they sold the IP, I don't know when that happened. How can this only be 1.5 man years of work, even if you split it by 3, when Will You Snail is literally 5 times bigger, smaller, in terms of, like, we can't really see the numbers, so it's difficult to say, right? But there are sales that are going on every day for these games. 10 concurrent players is not small. I'm not saying that it is small. I'm saying that it is an example of that I know of someone that told me the numbers. He told me that during this period he had about 10 sales a day. So I'm using that number to extrapolate. Now, can I extrapolate it to every example? No, I can't. What I'm saying is that if I take this as an example and I try to extrapolate that to 40 players a day, that would be a lot more sales a day. 100 sales a day. So now they say 1.5 man years of work in terms of salary. So you're telling me that if I earn, let's say 75,000 a year, and I multiply that by 1.5, that is what this guy earned. Is that how much he earned every year? Did he earn that every year? Or did he earn that after 5 years? It's not a salary, Cakez. So what is this here? I don't understand. For 6 months of work, he got 1.5 man years of work? I don't understand. What does this mean? He's so dumb. I know that it's 3 people, guys. I'm not stupid. I know it's 3 people. 3 times 0.5 is 1.5. You are dumb. Okay. Oh, I see how much work it was for 3 people. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I get it now. I'm sorry, everyone. It's just the accumulation of work. Aha! Here's an interesting thing, though. Will You Snail was 4 years of development. I thought it was only 2. That's crazy how long it was. So while this was going on, he was developing this too. Because 2022 is when the game came out. That's 2018. 2019 is when Islanders came out. So he started developing Will You Snail before he released Islanders. 4 years is a long time, man. Holy crazy. And then 3-year development on Thronefall. That's also very long. I thought it was just 1 year. See how the numbers can deceive you? Very important to look at this. Thank you very much for sharing this. Look at this, guys. 4 years. 3 years. These guys have almost 10 years of experience. Of course they are successful. Why wouldn't they? Please take that into account. Very important to read. Very important to take to heart, please. Because you can get demoralized by this so much. You see numbers like, oh, this guy is earning 1 million, this guy is 1 million, and this guy has 1 million reviews and 1,000 reviews and 10,000 reviews. And you're like, wow, his game looks so good. And you're like, bruh, why aren't you successful? Because I'm bad. I'm still learning. Anyways, okay. He then divided his subjective success scores, see above, by the amount of years it took each game to make. Why would you do that? And also these success scores, I don't even know, like this number doesn't make like 50. What does is a success score mean? So 100 is the best game, then this is half as successful, and this is only 15% as successful as this game? Is that what he's saying? So only 15% the success of this. Only 50% the success of this, I would assume. And so we can take it like relative to that. And then this is 33% successful, as successful. I'm just lost. I'm lost, sorry, but this makes no sense. I never made this calculation before, I must admit. Yeah, me too, I totally do not understand this. What are you even doing? Huh? Two times more money, but 3 times the cost. Duh. Oh, I see what you mean. So basically, this is how successful the game is if you factor in the time. I see. This is the success of the game given the time. So, Thronefall, that had 6 people working on it, was... Six plus 3, 5. About 5 times more successful than Will You Snail. 4? No, it's 5. 3, 6, 9, 13, 16. This is a crazy weird ratio. I don't know, I think it is. Because they spent half the time, but got twice much money. Each person. You can say it like this. You spent... No, they didn't get twice as much money. They didn't get twice as much money. But when you factor in the time, this was twice as successful as this game, factoring in the time it took. If you think about it like this, you would be more successful if you only did this than if you did this. This is assuming 6 people contributed equally, which they didn't, of course, but yes, it is assuming that. Anyways, I never made this calculation before, I must admit. I myself am kind of surprised by the results, but this seems to be about right. It almost feels like sobering to see it now. You often forget to consider the time. Oh yeah. Hey guys, we are approaching on year 4, by the way, of making Tangy TD. You want to know how many wish lists we have? Of course. Let me quickly look this up. Yeah. We're about to hit 820. Great. Great. It's gonna be better soon, guys. Okay, Copium. Jonas' first game, which he made in 6 short months, was most profitable when you factor in the time. Yeah. We made it in an incredibly short amount of time, and it did amazingly well considering the resources we spent making it. We made it as a 3-month semester project as part of our game design study at Berlin, and spent another 3 months of our own time after that to release it. By the numbers, the lowest performing game was Will You Snail. Yeah, oh, Will You Snail. Will You Snail was a passion project of mine, and I only made games like this. I would probably be very, very barely enough make a living. Oh god. Though likely possible, I did not expect it to perform so poorly on the real value benchmark here. Why don't you just say how much you earned? Why not? I don't understand. I feel like, didn't he, like, do you guys think that Will You Snail earned him $1 million or not? Did he make $1 million with this game? It's 2,000 reviews on 10 euros. Yes? No? No? A trillion? Millions and billions and trillions? Maybe 10k. Come on, man. You don't actually mean that. Maybe... Okay, these guys... Steam, revenue... No, actually, we're gonna use their numbers. Okay. Number of reviews... times 50. That's how many... It's close. I'm just gonna round it up to 10. Then Germany happens, by the way, guys. Let's say you keep... the first Steam happens. Shit. Goddamn. Okay, one more time. Sorry. We have it. 1 second, okay? We multiply that by 0.7. That's Steam. Times 10. Okay. We multiply that by 7. Yeah, 70%. No, not 10, because a lot of people buy it on sales. Not fair. Okay, so it's not fair. Then we use the Steam revenue calculator. Never mind, then. I would have been done already. It would have been done, actually. How many reviews? 2,300 something, 90 something. What was it? 97. And then we do 10. Okay, so he earned 250k. Divide that by 4. $60k a year. Oh, bro, you hey, I'm gonna have a message to you, you know. Poorly, barely enough to make a living. What are you talking about? 60k a year, barely enough to make a living. I've been surviving on less than 30k a year. What are you talking about? That's before taxes, no? Yeah, and on 30k I had to pay taxes too. Like when I worked, I survived on 30k easily, man. That was a breeze. I never had that much money in my life, bro. Huh? They probably eat more salami than you. Anyways, yeah, real value. Benchmark here for that reason. I did not expect it to perform so poorly. Okay. I felt like I was doing okay, and I think many developers would be super happy about the results. Yeah. If anything, this shows that the results are not fair in the way. That you're not getting more out of it just because you put more... Don't say that, man. Just don't say that. You make me like just finish my game and put it on the trash bin and then move on, bro. Stop. I don't like reading this guy's quotes. Okay? No. Stardew Valley happened. Animal Well happened to Animal Well is a side scroller. Animal Well is a side scroller. Animal Well is a side scroller. Massively successful. Animal Well. 7 years. Battlebit, and Animal Well. 7 years. Okay. Now, maybe there's a good time to point out that success can be measured by many different metrics, and financial success is certainly not the only one you should measure. Okay, for example, Will You Snell gave me a lot of creative fulfillment and creative freedom that the other two games couldn't live up to. True. When you make your own game and you can do anything, that's awesome. But it also means it might not work. Yeah, it's important to find a good middle ground and work on things you enjoy. Create your own definition of success. Thank you. Okay, let's see the analysis here, guys. Again, I want to emphasize that I'm not picking on Will You Snell. It did very well by measure. Also, money isn't the only... it's a huge factor. If you can't earn money, then you can't make games, because you need to feed yourself. So, for some people, that is the only marker, because they can't feed themselves. But okay, yeah, past that point, sure. especially in a creative endeavor like game development. If you look at the number of reviews a game has, you could conclude that Reduced is one of those exceptions to the rule that platformers underperform. When you dig deeper, the platformer tax comes more clear. What is that? Discovery queue magic. I've written about the discovery queue magic in previous posts and how to get to the discovery queue pre-launch, but I cannot emphasize enough how important the discovery queue is for generating sales. Not enough developers are aware of this. Okay guys, this is the special tactics now. Watch this. Okay, not enough developers are concerned about this. Null Exception told us to make a good game and not worry about these strategies. We should make a good game, but we will still read this. Discovery queue is by far the biggest source of traffic for both of these games in these launch days I looked at. Over 50%. Will you schnell Thronefall? Discovery queue, okay. This one flattens out faster, is that his point? 50%, often much more of the store page views come directly from the discovery queue. That's insanity. I was not aware. Animal well cope? It is animal well cope. So wait. The discovery queue you guys told me, I never used that. That's this thing here when you go to the store. You scroll down. Is this the discovery queue or which one is it? Now we have a sale right now. That's kind of breaking it, isn't it? Is it the things you might like? Store discovery queue. So basically, this thing. That's what people use all the time, really? Do you guys use this a lot? I never used this once. Click here to begin. No, never. I never use it. So then why is it so good? Maybe it's all the normies using it. I use it a couple of... I've used it. Every sale I use it. Aha. I use it... Oh, so in combination with sales. Aha. There we go. See, that's all of the people coming out of the woodworks. Aha. You have not paid for a game in 10 years? You're wrong. I bought Undertale for €1. You're wrong. I spent €1 on Undertale, bro. The other day. 90%, man. That's a steal. Okay, let's move on. I looked at both of these a lot. Post-launch discovery queue charts for many games, and I see consistent pattern. Number one, the growth phase. Yeah, it goes up. For games that gather a lot of wish lists, they typically are given around 200,000 discovery queue impressions. Yeah, guys, we are not getting this. On the first day of the launch, notice both Jonas games got this. I won't. If the game performs well with that first 20,000, it shows the game in discovery queue at least twice as much the next day. Oh my god. Okay, wow, that's multiple days. I forgot. That's crazy. I don't know what performs well means to the algorithm. It could be sales, could be wish lists, could be the number of times the game is not ignored. I think it is a combination of those together. How long people play, how many buy the game, how many even click on it. It's click-through rate, then engagement rate, like those two things. Like the guy from Steam told us what exactly it does. In the following day, Steam gives more and more traffic, typically twice as much as the previous day, until the game stops performing well. Yeah, so that's when it reached saturation. You have reached a market, and finding a new market for the algorithm is difficult. So it slows down because it can't find more people that are interested in the game. It's like reaching almost saturation, yeah. Awesome. And then traffic is cut and the decay phase starts. The decay phase, once the game peaks in the discovery queue, traffic is cut for each of the subsequent days. Games that last longer in the discovery queue phase. Guys, I want to point out something that is really important here. This does not need to be day one. Please don't get discouraged here. There's a reason on, and it closed it already. Did I? There's a reason why I showed you Vampire Survivors earlier. Because Vampire Survivors did not have this on day one. And there are other examples. The point of this is that you can get into the discovery queue later. You do not need to be in the discovery queue on day one. You don't even need the 10 reviews on day one. If you go to the reviews, can we see that here? In the first part here, can we like somehow... It's a bit small though. You see this here? He barely got any reviews. You should make strategies based on lucky games. All I'm saying is the following. I'm not saying that you should do it like this. What I'm saying is that this can happen even if you don't make it on day one. I'm not saying that you should do that as a strategy. I'm just explaining things. Was Vampire Survivors in the discovery queue or just organic from streamers and normal Steam front page? I don't know that. But what I know is that traction started happening towards Vampire Survivors the moment it reached 10 reviews. Anyways, let's begin here. The Cakez, once the peaks in the discovery queue, it cuts out the games that last longer in the growth phase seem to have a more gradual decay phase. Yeah, my theory is that the first few days Steam shows the game to shoppers. They have the highest playtimes with the game's associated tags. Yeah, like basically the core audience, and then it tries to find a wider audience, like YouTube essentially. And when it finds an underperforming audience, it's starting to, it's dropping it. Stop. So, analysis. When Jonas said, I agree with that, Steam does most of the promotion for you, we are talking about the discovery queue. The discovery queue is why you give 30% to Steam. You're paying them to show the game to people. Yes, they are promoting your game. They are a publisher. It is a lot, but they are the best publisher out there. That's why Diablo 4 went to Steam, because they need more money. Most hardcore fans who love to spend money on video games, if the game doesn't perform well in the discovery queue, there's no way you can find a more dedicated, more spendthrift audience. Well, unless you bring traction otherwise, but yes. But Valve controls the flow of the discovery queue depending on how good your game is. Yeah. If you look at the chart comparing the discovery queue traffic for the two games, you can see how much more Thronefall is featured. Will You Snail grew for 2 days. That is good, but most games don't even get a second growth day. Yep. We won't even get a single growth day. We're not getting anything, guys, here. We have to, like, bro, we have to brace for impact. We're getting here, right? If this is the middle, it's gonna down straight. Boom. That's what we have to do. We're like, this is what we have to do, man. But even though Will You Snail performed relatively well, Thronefall is a more traditional crafty building strategy game which has a much bigger audience. Yeah, it's more like more people. Yeah, the more people are in the discovery queue can show the game, and then they will give it a chance. Yes, platformers don't have the same built-in audience on Steam, even if the game is top-notch, and so it faces stiff headwinds. If we assume that this transfers to other indie games, then having an appealing game that makes a great first impression when people come across it in the discovery queue could indeed be much more true than I imagined. Okay. Does YouTube help? Ah, that's the important part here. Summary. Okay, cool. That's the important part. Does YouTube help? Jonas has a huge YouTube following, but it is worth the efforts to grow a YouTube audience to market your game. I think it is, but that's everyone deciding this on his own. The Stardew creator had no YouTube audience and has the biggest game on Steam, in my opinion, as an indie game developer. So, for Will You Snail, most definitely, I think most of my wish lists come directly from YouTube, yeah. However, it was a slow process. I worked on the game for 4 years of devlogs on YouTube. If you imagine you can post one video and get 10k wishlists from it, you're probably mistaken. I would pretty confidently claim there are more efficient ways to get wishlists than running a YouTube channel. which is a huge time investment. It is. Look at Thronefall, for example. Here's my own videos. Here my own videos don't even make a noticeable dent in the wishlist count at all. We don't see that. That's because Will You Snail launched with somewhat around 40 to 60k wishlist, while Thronefall was at 200,000. So by now it's grown even higher to 500,000. If I published a YouTube video asking people to wishlist, then it wouldn't see a damn thing on the wishlist graph. I see. Can a YouTube channel ensure a reasonable baseline of wishlist? Yes. Does it help? Yes. Can it blow the wishlist count out of the water? Unless you're Danny, no. True! True! YouTube is a waste of time for this, yes, but not for me. I like doing YouTube and streaming, so that's why I do it. But yes, it is a waste of time like that, yes. Danny, not Dan Gareb, okay? Unless you're Danny, yeah. Is a YouTube channel the most efficient way to get a wishlist? No, absolutely not. Probably TikToks or something, or posts on Twitter are very good too. Like Twitter traction is huge. Look at it like this: instead of building a YouTube channel yourself, use the channels for other creators who are already popular. Yeah, that's true. Email popular streamers and YouTubers to take a look at your game. Some will answer, some will ignore you. If your game is good and interesting enough, and that means better than the other available options, they will likely play and feature your game. So if you bypass all of the hard work or having a build to build that audience yourself, it's very easy to argue that it is a much more efficient way to go about it. And on top of that, it gets your game in front of gamers instead of game developers. True. All of you guys, many of you guys are game developers that played my game. It's very helpful, but you're like, many of you guys are not gamers. I have many in chat that don't even play real games. Like, so many people. Will you give out keys to other streamers when your game comes out, Cakez? Yes, I will. Summary. So to answer the question Jonas put out there, is game development more important than marketing? Unequivocally, yes. True. Side note, the game you choose actually is the marketing, if you're familiar with. The marketing, 1 to extra pandemic about what's marketing. Okay. I think in general it would be worth mentioning that marketing is not a super well-defined term, and a lot of disagreements and arguments stem from having different definitions. Yeah, true. You could also say that making a great game is marketing. Yeah, it kind of is, because it markets itself in a way. True. Like, here guys, Core Keeper had a clip on Twitter that went viral, and it was just in-game clip of them breaking walls in a 2D top-down pixel art game, where when you break the walls, the light of the fire shines into your tunnel and it illuminates the tunnel. That's all they did. And that was a huge clip on Twitter, or on X, however you want to call it. And so they didn't spend any time on marketing. They just pasted a clip there. Not that just that, but market research and product validation. Yeah, it's also like that, yeah. To know what price you should do for your game and stuff like that. I agree. Anyways, you see, the moment you pick what type of game you're going to make and what you're going to release on Steam, you have made 90% of your marketing decisions right there. From a purely marketing standpoint, I think Jonas' strongest game was Islanders. He made a crafty, buildy, simulation-y strategy game. Goodness! Build up a decent collection of wishlists and then released it. He was making the right product for the right audience, and he came in way under budget. Even if you make the best game, at some point, if you spend too much time making it, stop saying that! Don't say that! I'm not reading this. When Jonas made Will You Snail, he performed way above the median for typical platformer. He deserves so much praise for this. It's a good game. However, the dynamics of Steam audience mean that even if you do everything perfectly with your promotion and building a huge YouTube following, you cannot overcome the downward force that is making a platformer on Steam. True. Celeste is way less successful than I thought, by the way. The downward force is evident when you look at the concurrent user graphs being so much flatter than non-platformer games. You can see it in the way he says that streamers, with some exceptions of course, just didn't want to play a platformer. Yeah, of course they don't, because they rage. They're difficult, man. Very few people like these games. They are great streaming games in a way sometimes when they are short, but for longer times, no. You can see it in the discovery queue. I know this blog is looking just like one developer with 3 games. No, looking at just one developer with 3 games. A good example though. It's not statistically relevant, but still important, yeah. But this is quite a qualitative study, yeah. I see similar results when I do a broad-based data scrape of every game released every year. Games that do not fit the genre preference of the Steam audience underperform no matter how big the developer's YouTube channel is. No matter how spicy their tweets are. True. No matter what crazy promotion you do, the game you pick is the biggest marketing decision you will make. I'm not changing my game. Stop it. If you're looking to make games professionally, you can earn a more substantial income. I recommend making games in genres that Steam likes. Crafty, buildy. I told you guys. I told you that too today. That's just what it is. Don't spend too much time making them. Yep. If the game you pick is the biggest marketing decision, then your game is your most important marketing asset. Yeah, so basically it's all about the game. Cool. Good stuff. If you guys want to store this or read this again, here's the article. Very good information. I think that's important. And yeah, I mean, that basically just means that if we apply that to my tower defense game, you know, we've got some more work to do. We have got some work to do, my brothers. Yep. That's just what it is. More work. Because we're gonna spend more time making a game. How big is the market for a TD game? I mean, balloons would be the market, right? 10,000 a day, maybe a lot more, 11,000, 50,000 all peak. So if balloons is, let me see though, I don't think Plants vs Zombies was bigger. 16,000, and then Kingdom Rush is not bigger. And then I can't think of any other tower defense games that would come close to the success of these. I mean, what do we have? Guys, what do we have? I feel like Bloons is an outlier. Bloons has a history. Yes, it is an outlier. Plants vs Zombies was on mobile, doesn't matter. It's still a Steam game, you can still look at it on Steam. If we are purely talking about PC. We're talking about... If we're talking about in the context of making a game on the PC, then yes, that counts for sure. But if you go to the opposite direction, making the longest possible dev time, that sure is to be marketable, right? Make it the longest possible dev time. No, because then you never release. How big is Gemcraft? I don't know. This one here. 112 in game is not bad. 2000 is close to it. Yeah. Kingdom Rush. Played it a lot, yeah. Why do you think doing TD games is a great first game to build when you learn game development? I don't think they are the greatest first game. I think any game that you want to make is a great first game. For me, it's a great first game because I like TD games. But I'm not saying that this is the best game you can make for your first game. No. There's other games you can do. Ember, what is big TD game? Yeah, I was looking for that actually. That's a... How is that a single player, a solo developer game too? That's crazy. 255. It's gotta have a bigger peak. No, actually it doesn't. It doesn't have a bigger peak. Yeah, you see this here? Amber What? That was played by... Didn't Soda Poppin play this game? Look at this. Yeah, there's not much. You can't expect much for this. I don't think there's a bigger game than Kingdom Rush. Tower Factory? Well, we're pushing here, guys. 89 in game. I've seen this before. Yeah, 600 all the time. Yeah, guys, there's not much we're going to expect from my game. These games are all very deep games. Like Tower Factory, maybe not so much, but Gemcraft for sure is a deep game. My game is also a deep game, so I'm gonna hit a niche, probably. And so I'm not expecting much from this. Orcs Must Die, yeah, it is. And it's gonna be, it will be big. 6K, yeah, it's big. And then we have Orcs Must Die 2, is that bigger? It's a catchy title. 16K, yeah, so it comes close. And then 3, there's no way. 3 is gonna be... Oh, it's close though, 13K is still good. I thought your game is the deepest and the bestest. My game is really deep, but I'm not saying... I'm also saying, yes, that... Not any other game has a skill tree like this. And probably not... But there are... Gemcraft is really close in terms of complexity and combining stuff with each other. We're talking about tower defense games, not PoE, bro. But about Elementy DE, I think it is like... It's not much. 2,000 reviews or something. Yeah. I looked at this. 1,000... It's good. It's not bad. But it's also not that great. And if I remember correctly... I had very positive reviews, so that's good, yeah. That's not much. Check Rogue Tower. Ah, yeah, Rogue Tower exists too, yeah. The first of its kind. Usually the most successful is the first of its kind. 4,000, yeah. 200 right now. No, sorry, 160 right now. The skill tree does not make your game complex, bro. Yeah, that's true, but I'm talking about item interactions and stat interactions. Like, for example, I can get Pierce, and then an ability that operates on Pierce gets stronger. And I could have multiple abilities that operate on Pierce. Stuff like that. I can get Chill Effect, and then multiple abilities that do cold damage are affected by that. I can completely convert my damage into cold on one unit, but completely convert it into fire on another unit. There's so many options that I could do. Like, there's a lot of options that you don't really have available to you in other tower defense games when you have predefined paths. That being said, however, that doesn't mean that it's like really gonna be really successful. If that is clear to me, that has been clear to me for the last 2 years, that that's not gonna happen. Because if it would, then I would have more wish lists. Simple as that.